Crew has the lead though. Will the shot be able to go through? Yes!
Cuddle Crew goes
take it down! 999!
Oh.
1000! Gotaga and Raven's Revenge in the closest nail biter yet. Edge out the Cuddle Crew in two teams who we said we wanted to see more. They brought more.
Are you kidding me? The Fish fans step up and shut it down. Just the fact that they stepped on the point, they couldn't earn points and they lost the lead. They were just a pick ahead. That could have been their game.
I mean, it's just, let's check out the replay. You can see the counter in the top right, but the Fish fam going up and challenging on the other side. You can see them hopping up there. No one was at the Ravens' Revenge as soon as they were there, and the celebration too. You have to be excited when you see that victory royale screen pop up when you're up there. I mean, what's it like to win a game on that stage? I have no idea. Those guys do, though.
We you know, at some point before the day's over, we really got to recap the other point of a point of view there, because they had it. They were one tick ahead. They were there, knocking on the door, 55,000 away from bonus prize on top of this entire competition. It was right there.
And it got taken away, and this is why I love Sky Station Showdown. The clutch little moments, the interactions that happen, very similar to Battle Royale, where every single thing that is happening on the map can affect the overall end result of the game, as you see there in Raven's Revenge, closing it out. Gotaga, the competitive veteran, able to clutch it up in the final moments. Magma, Arthier, and Chappie as well, just a great performance out of them, taking the top spot in the final match of the first set.
Now I get to say, I was right the whole time. I started off with, Raven's Revenge, kind of making me feel like, hey, these are my guys. Let's go with your gut, guys, all right? Raven's Revenge, that's who I said when I started this whole thing. I told you.
He's not wrong. They were able to take it there, but we're going to throw it up top to an interview with Raven's Revenge with Zeke. Zeke, you there, buddy?
I am here, son. Now, thank you so much. Fun fact, Monster did in fact say Raven's Revenge would win. I've got your back, Monster. I am here. You guys got your revenge. I got to ask, first question to you, Gotaga. How does it feel to be here in the stadium, the fans, the roar, and to be facing off against your peers? Was it what you expected?
Honestly, it's crazy, and I have a really strong team. We are learning a lot from our mistakes, and I'm so glad to be here, to be honest. I don't know how to describe it.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy being here. I'm right there with you. All right, so now who's the overall shot caller? Is it Gotaga? Is it you? Who is it?
Kind of all four of us. We were playing too afraid at first, so we just had to just go in there and just kill them as fast as we could, and then spawn trap. That was our goal.
Okay, what's the strategy like? Are you guys, talking through at the beginning? Are you guys waiting for someone else to make a move? Or are you guys like, no, we're going in first?
Yeah, we're trying to, really pressure Ninja's team. We're trying to put pressure on that green point. And yeah, we were able to control it over them. They ended up wussing off over to the center. And yeah, we were able to play our game and play what we wanted.
Awesome. All right, final question. What do you want to say to all the fans that are here watching, cheering you guys on, and from home?
I don't know, it's just incredible. I'm happy that so many people are here. I don't know, just enjoying the show. It's amazing, honestly.
Well, congratulations, guys. Now, I believe for now, we're going to send it over to Golden Boy, who is standing by.
Going on there, and now what we're doing right now, hanging out as they walk back over, just brilliantly done there from RTA, Magma, Chappie, Gotaga. The team for them was just on point. You talked about it, all four strong players from Gotaga, and they're happy with the final result, and that puts them immediately into contention because it's cumulative prize point to find out who will take that first Silver Llama and kind of get a leg up for the rest of the creative final.
I actually want to touch on something that, was kind of interesting. He called Ninja's capture point the green point. These guys are like that focused here. He's like, okay, we know who's kind of farming which ones. And they're shutting players down, shutting down their competition so that they can take these sets.
Well, that's the next step, right? As soon as you're immediately in there, and that's the big part for Sky Station that I enjoy, is you have the ability to see where the other opponents are in relation to you for score. So if you want to go and try and make somebody's life difficult, you might not be maximizing your points, but you can effectively help your team the most by just denying the other guys and being like, hey, you don't get to play this. And occasionally, if you put enough pressure on them, maybe they default to rotating the other way. Maybe they go somewhere longer. Maybe they have to wait and only push this forward. All of those are advantages you can get by just putting pressure on another team. And there's so many different layers, and I think when we see the remix for this, it's going to get even more exciting.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, here and at home, there's a remix version. We have some nice twisted surprise that we will see unfold as the day goes on. That was just our first iteration of this round, and honestly, it was a great set. But that just leaves us with the question, too. The Funky Fighters, they had an amazing opening, right? Second place is great. You get big prize bonus for that. You win game 2, and then you kind of flop game 3. Depending on where they went, their average might have really been anchored down.
Yeah, that ends up being really, really, really harmful. But luckily there, if you're in the 4th to 8th range, there's no additional, I don't want to say penalty, because they're all getting $10,000 for the match in of itself. So there's just no additional gain after that fact. You're still able to stay par. So 4th would have been just as bad, but 8th, you're kind of looking like, oh, that'll really bring down the average. It's not the worst case scenario going on there. So they should still be at least in the running, but you can't be comfortable.
No.
Like, not at all. It's so incredible. Now we are going to go over the screen and have the results in your set. One winner is the Funky Fighters. The last match was not enough. The singular win in the double goes over to them. They will have that first silver llama, and there he is throwing it up. And I mean, you got to be happy for him.
They did it. I thought maybe it wasn't enough, but it was. Love this celebration right here.
You kind of are like, it's a little, I don't want to say like bittersweet there, but it's like, oh, you kind of like get pushed out in the last game, and then boom, you get it. But now the silver llama, but they're happy. They realize, and the big thing, that gives them a leg up for the rest of the competition. If they can win the next match, another team has to win both of them. But such a great job from the Funky Fighters, sticking to their guns, staying with the strategy, getting 2 top 2 finishes, one of them being a win.
I actually love this right here. They're all getting together, showing team harmony. They're clearly happy. They take the first set. That's amazing. They're off to the right start, really. They can get another 1 or 2 of those, and this entire creative finals is theirs.
Well, and again, we talked with Tomoya beforehand, and he was like, yeah, we're really confident when we can get in the races. We want to be on that world run. We know we can do there. We have some really good runners, and then they turn around and do that?
I was just Showdown? I was just going to touch it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this wasn't even their strong suit, right? He did a death run at some point when he recruited his people for this creative challenge. So for him to take what might be one of our, toe-to-toe PvP sessions, that's actually crazy. And here's the team standings.
Yeah, look at the final team standings. So Llama Record Code do just get edged out by $1,500 there. The Funky Fighters, you can see on the right-hand side, have been awarded that silver llama. Rounding it out, you have Raven's Revenge in the top 3, Cuddle Crew and Little Whip Warriors both at 55, sitting in 4th and 5th. Fish Fam, Sunshine Soldiers, I almost got that one, 6th and 7th, and then 8th there are the Chicken Champions. But this is set 1 of 4. There's still tons of creative games to be going on. I mean, it's been so good, and like we talked about earlier, we have a never-before-seen map and game mode for you guys. Now, I know we released Prop Hunt. It's something that's kind of similar to that. How many of you guys have played Red Light, Green Light at some point in time, right? You've been there. You've done it. I know, whether it might have been a little while ago. Junkyard Juke is a red light, green light prop hunt version where you will have 2 teams sitting up as guards, 6 teams running. It will rotate through every single one of the rounds, and here you can see how to win. You have to dodge those guards, sprint into the center, and incinerate yourself in order to get those points. There are 4 rounds per match, Monster, and how do they score?
Yeah, but also, before we get there, you only get to be guard once. And while you're guard, you do not accumulate points. But yes, the points come in through the props themselves. So when you are on the prop side, you want to choose small, medium, or large objects and try and get it to the incinerator under the guard tower. So it's actually really difficult. And like you said, it's a hybrid. It's a red light, green light / prop hunt style. This is a pretty tough game mode. We played a fair amount of it. I got my hands on it. This is actually a lot harder than it kind of sounds.
So it's something that is just completely different. I don't know how many of you guys have played Prop Hunt. Definitely definitely check it out. It's on the Creative Islands. It's a lot of fun, but this brings an additional aspect to it. The guards are able to have the denial, you're able to plan routes out, and you can have strategies, right? So, hey, maybe I want to run all big props the whole time.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
There's tons of different things. Let's check out the format and see what these guys, how they're going to go through, what the map.
Careful. Being bigger means you're easier to spot. To keep themselves from getting eliminated, prop teams need to time their movements very carefully. Every few seconds, the guard teams will be blinded for a short time, and the center point turns green, giving the props a chance to run for the hills, or rather, the pit. Once a prop reaches the goal, they respawn at their home base to start over, running as many props as they can before the match ends. If a player is eliminated, they also respawn at their home base and need to start the trek all over again. After 4 rounds, each team's points from their prop rounds will be combined, and the team with the most points wins the game. So keep an eye out for those moving bushes, crates, and gnomes, and enjoy the Junkyard Juke.
Thank you so much, Zeke, for that update. That's Junkyard Juke, something that has never before been seen. It looks kind of a little simple, but it's wacky, it's fun. There's a lot of small little minutia that go into it, things you can min-max on, and also there's just a level of ridiculousness that I enjoy so much. Just seeing somebody turn themselves into a literal dumpster and then try and weave their way past, it's a lot of fun.
Let the memes come to life here as your favorite.
Whoa, you talking about my gameplay again? God, that's so rude.
Turn them into dumpsters, literally. We'll get to see that unfold here. As I gotta say, this is a frustrating game mode. It's very difficult. You guys are gonna see why. It is gonna be tough for some of these guys to bring in those big point objects, and that's just gonna be the name of it. Who can score the most here?
Who can score, and how well are you playing defense? How well do you coordinate? Who is watching the right angles? And again, it's going to be interesting to see. Do they switch up their strategy from game 1 to game 2? Because there's so many different things you can do. But we are about to have the world premiere of Junkyard Juke. We are getting into set number 2. The Funky Fighters have 1 silver lava. Who will get the second? We now are in to set 2. Match 1, and right away you can see Chappa, Botaga, Magma, and RTA of Raven's Revenge, and then the Little Whip Warriors, Ninja, Taco, Taldak, and FaZe Kaz taking their shots off. Now, fun fact, the screens are there, you can't see, but you can shoot through them. So don't be afraid to take some shots. I mean, we know the trick shotters will.
Yeah, some people are already shooting. They figured that part out. It looks like Chappie hasn't quite yet. He's kind of looking. He's just blind shooting. Oh, there it is. Now he's firing through. He's noticed, hey, these are not ricocheting off of this curtain here. I can fire right on through. So you want to stop them. You want to force stop them. You want to also kind of memorize the map and the link.
And right away you can see as soon as the blinds go down, people go, but the first points are starting to come through as Lachlan is able to get in. And the Bloods team, the Llama Record Go, also able to get a 10-pointer and the next 5-pointer, following it directly behind. Oh no, it's another 10-pointer. So we already see some of the props having successful runs.
Look at him go. There it is. You saw a big old truck kind of sneak on by. And these objects are slipping right underneath. But who knows how long that'll last. Here's Scissors. You gotta park it. You gotta stay still. Oh, can he blend in?
And one other thing you can note there, the props will clip through other objects that are there. So if you see something that isn't sitting perfectly naturally, like Scissors was right there, clipped into it, boom, got him brilliantly done. Lachlan hits one of those bounce pads that are stuck in there. They will launch you up in the air, but great run coming out from X-Sandy and Samoa, utilizing the air conditioners to find their way to the end. Benzor and Alex JJ desperately trying to get in. Alex JJ with another 10-point prop, and Hand in Blood gets picked up just before. That would have been a huge swing, but right now, Sunshine Soldiers in first place with 35 points.
They are finding their rhythm here. Sunshine Soldiers taking the lead right now. This is a hard game mode to break free in because you got to think about it. These guards are not playing around. They are shooters, right, at heart. And at the end of the day, if something looks off, something looks odd, like this white vent right here, you're just going to get popped. So you got to be careful here. And there it is. Nice job of, kind of hitting the brakes here. And, oh, he hits one of those trapdoors. Let's talk about that, Sundown.
So you can actually see it. There is the little tiny springs. They launch you upward. There's a couple that can be chained into each other. But if you are one of those bigger objects and you get sent up, you are just quite literally sometimes flying garbage.
Yeah, but it would be too easy if we didn't lay traps around, right? So got to kind of spice it up for the people that are turned into props too.
So you can also actually, the people who can turn into props, there's one pathway where you can chain two of them together. So if you can get there, you almost land directly in front of it. So as long as you time it correctly, you can use them slightly to your advantage. But most of the time, they're a little bit more annoying. And boom, you can see that rusty truck going in. And now the Funky Fighters pulling out another lead. 60 points so far.
And this is something important to know, guys. You have to get it into the incinerator, fully processed before the timer counts down, or else your point will not be processed.
Which is a big thing on the min-maxing. What we mean by that is maximizing your efficiency. So if you were to get the most points possible, you run only 10 points the entire time. Not only because they're worth more, but they take less time to sort because they're the first one that goes through. The two-point props are able to run, I don't want to say relatively easier, but much easier compared to a dumpster and a card, particularly because you have cover. With that being said, take about an extra 3 to 4 seconds to sort, so it makes it that much less efficient, plus being only 20% point value.
That's right, so Flytax there has chosen a big object. Achin and Zond over here, smaller objects. They're kind of blending right into all of the dumpster trash. Clearly harder to track down and, I guess, how do I say this? Sort out, right?
Yeah.
Amongst all the clutter here.
Exactly. You want things that don't stick out, or you want to find a path for an object that you can take all the time. So you notice how there's a section where there's like 4 or 5 rusted cars. Grab a rusted car and go park yourself with those, because yes, the guy knows, oh, there's a bunch of rusted cars there. Screen goes back up, oh, there's still a bunch of rusted cars there. I'm good. Next thing you know, the prop walks his way up. You can also, as you're running, block rotation. So if you hit your crouch button, whenever you have that bouncing, whether you're playing on controller, iPad, PC, all of them end up completely stopping, so it will send you totally naturally, just like what you would see.
And this is also those moments, right, when you're in the guard, oh, someone's not there. Oh, nice job seeing something out of the ordinary, and eliminating an object. So it's just your job to stop everything.
Which can end up being very interesting if the team in the lead, which generally happens because you have 3 chances to score, is shooting last round. Right? Because then it's all about how good are your pressure. And one other thing is starting to fire through the screens. Very well done for them. Picking up an Elin there. But right now, Hadoku already wresting the lead away. All 3 of them sitting there at 60, but they're 5-point processes, and it goes through. the Llama Rekiko with plenty of time and are tied with the Cuddle team. Any singular point now will put the Chicken Champions at for the set 2 Llamas.
You can see the excitement there on their faces.
Ravens Revenge. That was a brilliant decision, showing exactly why you were able to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup Creative Finals, why you're playing on that stage. Those are the big plays, but again, brilliantly done from the Chicken Champions. Consistent runs, stuck to their statues, stuck to their routes, and took the corners. And now we're actually going to have a chance to talk to our Chicken Champions, the Match 2 champions. Zeke has them up there on the top floor. Zeke, what do you got for us?
What's going on, guys? I'm hanging out with the Chicken Champions, guys. That game was insane. Feathers were flying, and you guys clutch it up. Did you figure out the strategy? Because you guys were well and ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, we practiced yesterday, and everything is thanks to this guy. This guy always goes for the 10 points, always, and he always gets it. So, thanks to you, man.
All right, then I'm coming to you, Mr. Carey. What was the strategy? How did you get the 10 points in there? Was it the same every time? Did you switch things up?
Yeah, go for the 10 points each time and do the same strategy, and it seems to work.
So in this intense game of red light, green light, were you like stopping early, or were you just like going as far as you could go and then waiting for someone to spot you and stopping, or what was your plan?
I'm taking it very patiently.
All right, now over to you guys. What do you guys think of this game mode? Has it been everything you thought it's been?
Yeah, it's great. We had a game plan. We definitely did what we came to do, and that's what we expected. So.
Very well executed. You did not lay an egg. All right, final question for you. I want to give you the chance to tell the world, you know, all the fans something. What do you want to tell them?
Thanks for the support from Spain, for the other world, and my team is it's good in this mode, and we will win the next match.
There you go. The excitement is real. Gentlemen, congratulations. Best of luck going forward. We're sending it back your way.
Brilliantly done there from the Chicken Champions. Thank you so much, Zeke. They're excited to be there. They stuck to their game plan. And shout out to Bensor. The one thing he was looking forward to on this trip, he wanted to play in front of a big crowd. He got that moment, running through, securing that for the Chicken Champions. And immediate El Rubius turned to him and was like, it's all him, man. He put the team on his back or put the team in his dumpster. I don't know. That normally that wouldn't be a good thing, but in this circumstance, hey, it worked out for him.
Yeah, another prop to Kyoto as well. The only, or one of two controller players here, you know, in the creative finals. So very nice of him to kind of represent for those guys as well. And again, just showing that he's got the moves out there.
He had the moves, was able to find the right angles, and now we've seen some developments from match 1 to match 2. Yep. What was the big thing that stuck out from you that was different?
And that last one, honestly, finally seeing someone pick up those 2-point props, right? Using those. Those are points right there. But with that, we'll jump over to Bala. We'll take a fun look at some of the things that developed in our last few moments.
Thank you so much, guys. Yes, the Junkyard Juke is developing nicely. Everybody's starting to figure out what all the different tools and props they have available to them. So with that, we're going to hop into some of the tips and tricks that I've seen from the Junkyard Juke so far. We can roll the clip right now as all these players. The first thing I want to point out is there are these springboards. Unfortunately, Dan Yen gets picked out of the sky there. Not too happy about that. But moving on to Tomoya using the statue. This is one of the interesting scores I saw with the statue. Those higher point objects being useful. Scissors here with the springboard. The recovery and just barely doesn't get into the incinerator at the last second. And then here we have Tomoya, no, sorry, we have, again, just an awesome run towards there, looking like a scene out of everybody, you know, crossing the street at the same time. Here's Tracius hitting some amazing shots through the black. And then he just continues shooting, just hoping that he can get a shot. This is the other team, the Cuddle Crew, doing the same thing, but then also synchronizing, making sure they have coverage on all angles. Finally, Tomoya made some amazing calls. We'll listen to them in a second, but this is what he did, always timing it perfectly so that he can get in and make sure that his teammates also go at the same time and make it into that incinerator. So we're gonna head and listen to what those communications were like from Tomoya and team. In this one, they made sure the countdown was perfect.
1, 2, 3, 4, 10, I got 10, I got 10. We are nice. We are both go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap. Oh, they kill me. If they don't kill me, I score 10.
Don't
1,
5.
2, 3,
Okay, I got 5, I got 5.
I got 10. No! He killed me.
Oh.
We are strong team.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I scored 0 in the first one, so like we're all close points.
There you go. The Funky Fighters, you know they won the first Silver Llama. We're gonna see if they can win the next one. We've got one more match here on Junkyard Juke to go, and we'll see who will come out on top with the Silver Llama from this. Guys, back to you.
Thank you so much, Bala, for that great breakdown. Listening to the comms, that's one thing I hadn't considered. I always just kind of like, yeah, it's going to come up now. But these guys all on comms talking, have one guy counted out. That guy's just like a metronome. Make sure he has it on the dot every single time. Brilliantly done from them. But will they be able to take back that top spot? We've seen them do it. If they can grab that Silver Llama, they'll be in such a good spot.
Yeah, you want to get the Silver Llama, but to get there, you got to make a new strategy. I think that right there, there was a lot of information in that bit right there. You kind of noticed the team synergy, and he said something very important in his interview there. Talking about being patient. You really have to be patient. You can't let the frustration get to you. You saw Scissors very expressive on your cam. Just, it's hard to get the pointer, and that's what I talked about before this whole thing started. I said, trust me, this is a lot harder than you guys think. You might just, oh, man, you're gonna get shut down.
But I mean, it's just like, if you think about it, it's the mental aspect that really comes with it. If you're able to frustrate somebody else, then they're that much more off their game. If these guys are all great at that, coming through from some of the Death Run qualifiers, it makes it that much harder. But thank you guys so much for joining us here. And again, don't forget, there is a fantastic, awesome event-specific merch starting here right now today on the 26th. You can also get it on retailrow.com. Make sure you celebrate the event. Remember it, grab some from your friends, your brothers, your family, people who couldn't be here to celebrate the first ever Fortnite World Cup.
Yeah, you saw some of your favorite pros and competitors here rocking that new swag. Definitely loving it. All types of collaborations going on here. I love it when Fortnite releases new gear, you know? This kind of allows me to always spice it up.
I'm always a fan of anything Fortnite swag. That's pretty much like 98% of my wardrobe. At this point, I mean, love the logos, love the bright colors, but enough from us. Match 3, set number 2, the final one on the original version of Junkyard Juke before we see the remix later on. Are you guys ready?
That's right.
Let's begin. The first round is underway. Match number 3, set number 2. Who will be able to incinerate the props the most? Who will push out to the lead? And can anybody upset the funky fighter who took that first lobby? You need to make sure they don't get this one here. And basically, everyone's first place.
Yep, and you can see there, Taldeck did land a shot straight through the curtain. Very nicely done. Another kind of lane, right? You want to look at your lane, see which lane is available to you that's easy to maneuver the objects you want to bring through. Flytex, for example, here is using a bear. There are no bears in this section, but he says, you know what? It's all good. I can sneak this around.
So the big thing with the bear, though, that you don't really consider is the coloring of the background. You're in the junkyard. You're a little bit in one of those desert biome situations. There's a lot of kind of muddle grounds and oranges around there. It makes it that much harder to stick out. However, if you if you're grabbing the snowman, you're just really flexing on everyone. It's like, yeah, I'm a snowman. I'm a snowman in the desert, and I'm going to score on you.
That's pretty hilarious because, you know, we haven't seen anyone pull out the weird objects in the back end for good reason. There are a couple other fun ones back there. If we get a pan around later, you'll probably notice a big old snowman or something like that. But with all this money on the line, there's no way everyone has time to play around like that.
You can't play around because every single one of those runs matters. And right now, we see Sunshine Soldiers swapping over. They've already put in 2 2-point props, so need to be slightly more efficient on those runs, but good job getting on the board consistently. As we say that, 5-pointer goes in. Boom, they're ahead of the funky fresh with a singular 10-point run. So trying to get every possible point. It's all about maxing efficiency.
Morton is doing a great job. They all have a ton of eliminations. Taldeck at 6, Taldeck at 5.
there's no way those are both props.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, you know what? Honestly, you see a bunch of the same things. They blend in a little more. It's when something's an oddball that you really start to shoot. So maybe it is a good idea to time it, right?
But there's split spawns, so you don't always consistently. There's different spawn points around the map that have the different exits as you go out. So you can coordinate with a teammate, or what you can also do is sort of bait somebody else to do it, right? So you see somebody who's running an archery target, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to grab that too, and you follow their path. And if they get picked up, oh, well, you look slightly more natural. If you're that much more patient, you can see Svenos is actually doing that right now with Carnifex. Both of them going into the box. Svenos does hit the spring, is hanging out behind the car, and will get the score. That's a great run.
Yeah, he actually recognized Horazy was not looking down in the right direction, so he took advantage of that. Fighter let his guard down for just a second there. He did manage to sneak on through, so that was the big point there in the final seconds. This round is now coming to a close there. Next round is going to begin. We're going to switch up the guards. Another look.
No dancing, just props and shots going out from the guards. Round 3 kicking off in the final match of set 2 at the Creative Finals. Who will be able to take that second silver llama? And right now, you see Bensor is going into the 10-point prop right away. Kutu does get the mimic, but then opts to go for a different route as players are starting to feel a little bit of the pressure here. Paladin uses for one. This is the first time we're starting to see some gnomes out there and another teddy bear on the road.
That's right, Kantok representative, putting himself straight behind every object that he can. I love that they're using the smaller objects. It's so much easier to score with those. When you bring those big ones out, it really is hard. He actually puts himself inside the shot. He's following Kuto so close here. Just kind of use him as bait, really. As you get behind him, he's safe.
Yep, because they don't think they're going to fire twice in there. That's the benefit of it. But right away, you see Kaz, Taco, Chappie. Great little run there from the Little Wing Warriors. That's going to push them back into contention. There's 5 points currently. The Ducks are going in from Handle Blood. 10 points. The Lava Record go pushing.
Chicken Champions need to get picked up here. They need these points. And there it is. He's doing a lot of work for his team, showing that, hey, I can push this up here too. Just gonna go ahead and take that 5-pointer, throw him right over the big man now.
A great run from him. Corner peek the entire time, made sure nobody was looking for him. But right now, Spencer coming through. The Chicken Champions, can they overtake in the last minute? That's 10 more points. That is going to go through for them and starts pushing up. Llama Record needs to get in some runs. The Chicken Champions will the last one. So they're pushing through. Right now, it is the Sunshine Soldiers and the Fishman up there. So they're doing their best to delay everyone. Extending by Tyler. And now Carnifex is chilling in the back on that rusted out car. Hand of Blood just barely avoids the shot. Whoa, no. Oh. Saw the hitbox going through there. The Tracers running away through the window, but not enough as Dracius has 2 more 10-point props. Also going over. We're seeing, I think, a little bit closer to the score here. Minus the Chicken Champions.
Yeah, this is pretty rough. Neither have the Llama company. The Llamas have not went into the guard tower at all. You can tell because when we go to their POVs, they don't have any elims.
Up. They need a fantastic run, and they have to do everything to deny him. And you can see right away already tunneling in on those 10-point props.
Yeah, the Cuddle crew cannot earn points. The Chicken Champions
They have been the prop masters so far.
Yes, they have. They were doing so good. And oh, Ninja hits a huge spike there. He's trying to dodge, and he's so close to making it through. It's very, very close. Here comes a 10-pointer from Taldoc. Sneaks it right in. That's great for the Little Whip Warriors. That's actually going to throw them over the Llama Record Company right there. Cuddle Crew actually is somehow up. Look, the Little Whip Warriors actually went to second place now. They're so close to overthrowing the Chicken Champions as well.
It's going to come down to the last final moments. Can the Little Whip Warriors get the runs they need to? You can see Kaz is taking the corner route, trying to find whatever he can. It's doing it very well so far, avoiding the jump pads that pretty sure Ninja called those ones out on the run.